My name's Dolly, and I need your help. There's a group of men chasing me, and it's all because of my big old titties. Let's go back a few months, to when I was a flat-chested high schooler. No one paid much attention to me or my friend Jane because of our situation. By the end of our junior year, all the other girls had developed into B and even C cups, while Jane and I were barely rocking an A. That summer, I finally got out of buttfuck Iowa, place names change for anonymity, on a European vacation with my family. I wanted to come back more worldly and interesting. I even picked up a beret and glasses in France so I could get a reputation as classy and mysterious. I remember my first day back at school senior year. I had turned 18 over the summer and had been smoking clove cigarettes like a fiend. I brought them to school so I could puff on one mysteriously during lunch break and cement my new image. I never got the chance. I had the first clove in my mouth and the shiny new Zippo lighter in my right hand. I sparked it up and lit the tip of the clove, but before I could take the first puff, I caught sight of her. The cigarette fell from my lips as my jaw dropped open. Jane was standing in the middle of a group of cute boys. They were fawning all over her. Jane and her big old titties. What the fuck? They had to be the biggest titties in school, easily an F cup, maybe a G. And on her tiny 5'2" frame, they made her look like a porn star. I stormed over to Jane and grabbed her arm. Jane, I missed you. Girl emergency in the bathroom. I tried pulling her away, but she resisted. Dolly, can we talk later? She asked. Nope, I said. We need to talk right now. I dragged Jane to the bathroom as the boys behind her whistled. Luckily, no one else was there, so I didn't have to whisper. Holy cow, I said at her boobs. Where did you get those? I don't know. They just kind of appeared. I haven't done anything different except... Except what? I growled. Well, Mom's been buying this milk from the farm down the road from us. It's all natural and organic and stuff. She says it's better to drink milk close to the source, you know, rather than getting it at Walmart. What's the name of the farm? I asked her. Mammary Fields, Jane said, yanking the door open. Now let me go. Jimmy wants to fill me up under the bleachers. That night, I made my case to my mom. We had all finished eating, and I stayed after to help her clean up. So, Mom, you know that milk from Walmart causes cancer? What? Mom said. Where did you hear that? Science class. It also has a ton of antibiotics and antihistamines. I mean, what does pasteurized even mean? Do you know? Mom was about to answer, but I cut her off. It's also ruining the environment. I mean, they have to truck that stuff in from Canada or Puerto Rico. What do you mean, Dolly? She said. Good. That meant she was playing ball. I just think the responsible thing to do is to buy our milk from Mammary Fields, I said. I could see Mom thinking. It's just down the road, so it's local and organic and cage-free. Mom shrugged. Sure, I guess, she said. But why do you care so much about milk all of a sudden? Mom, you know you're never too young to take your health seriously, I said. The very next day I was chugging Mammary Fields milk like an alcoholic back off the wagon. I didn't see much of Jane, but I figured she was off somewhere getting her toes sucked or whatever you do when boys pay attention to you. A few weeks later I saw her in the hallway and pulled her aside. Hey girl, I said. Got milk? Because I do. I held up a carton of Memory Fields 2%. Jane rolled her eyes. So when does this shit start working? Hey, is that a hickey on your neck? Get off me! God, Dolly. So, I don't know. Took me maybe a month before I noticed a difference. Shit. Jane was looking down at her shirt. There was a wet spot over her left boob. Not again, she said, and stormed off towards the restroom. Little did I know that was the last time I would see Jane or her big old titties. The next day, Jane wasn't in class. She wasn't there the day after either. All the boys who had been spending time with her were pulled aside and questioned by the principal. The line stretched halfway down the hallway. Lucky bitch. I upped my milk intake. I was drinking about half a gallon a day at this point. Mom was making weekly trips to Memory Fields, but she could barely keep it in the house. I was chugging it straight from the carton when a pitcher on the side caught my eye. I was so surprised I inhaled some milk straight into my lungs and spent the next minute coughing. When I recovered, I took a closer look at the pitcher. It was a black and white photo of Jane. She was looking straight into the camera with a pissed off expression. She was wearing the same shirt she had worn the last time I had seen her. The picture could have been taken that afternoon, except that she was wearing a big earring on her left ear. I hadn't even known she had gotten her ears pierced. A single word was printed directly above her photo in bold, uppercase letters. Missing. Damn, girl, I said. That earring looks terrible on you. I didn't have too much time to dwell on Jane because there had been some interesting new developments in my own life. That's right, the milk was finally working. I went from barely filling out a training bra to a C cup in a month. A month later, I was popping out of a double D. As Shakespeare said, my cups runneth over. And I wasn't the only one who was noticing. It turns out, when your milkshake is made by Memory Fields, it does, in fact, bring all the boys to the yard. The next few weeks were magical, like my life was a Disney porno. 4 boys asked me to homecoming. 4 boys. I went with all of them. Life was great. Then one day in algebra, I felt something weird. During passing time, I went to the bathroom and noticed a small wet spot on my shirt. I went into the stall to investigate. My bra was wet in the same spot. What the hell? I dried it off as much as I could with a paper towel and went back to class. I was walking home from school listening to Drake when I heard the squeal of tires. A white van sped past, then careened up onto the curb in front of me. Nice driving, assholes, I yelled at them. The side door of the van slid open and 2 men got out. That's the target, said one of them. They both started running toward me. I spun around and tried to get away from them, but they were too fast. My last thought before everything went black was that I should have paid more attention in gym class. I woke up in a room the size of a jail cell with a pounding headache. My left ear felt like it was on fire. I sat up slowly and felt my ear carefully. A plastic tag hung down from it in a way I just knew was unattractive. Son of a bitch, I yelled at the wall. A screen on the wall in front of me switched on, showing a video of a red barn surrounded by rolling hills. The hills looked familiar. What the fuck? I said. Cheesy music started to play as the camera zoomed in on the barn. A woman with big old titties stood in the door of the barn, chewing on a piece of hay. The music got louder, and the woman looked right into the camera and said, "Welcome to Memory Fields." Well, I'll be damned, I said. Then the door to my cell burst open. A woman stood on the other side, holding a bucket in one hand. "Hello, Dolly," she said brightly. "It's time for your milking." The next 6 months were without doubt the most embarrassing of my entire life up to this point. I won't tell you how I escaped memory fields, except that it was undignified and involved a lot of chocolate. I have no doubt that memory fields will come after me for writing this. So as soon as I post this, I'm taking these big old titties and hitting the road. I just wanted to warn everyone before I go. Stay away from memory fields. Better yet, stay away from Iowa altogether. There's no reason to go there. And my warning goes for all the men out there too. You don't want to know what memory fields milk does to you.